Alright, I'm going to show you guys really quick how to use a slide rule on a pilot's watch. This is an actual, real pilot's watch. I know a lot of pilot's watches from the olden days don't have many dials, still accurate, but some of these were actually used for navigation, just like kind of the heritage of the Seiko and the Breitling Navitimer and some others. So while I'm running Whisper over here on WSJTX, I'm going to just show you guys how to do a couple simple calculations. You can do a lot of different things with this. You can convert gallons, US gallons to imperial gallons. You can do liters. You can calculate fuel load for your trip and your plane. You can convert nautical miles to statute miles to feet, fuel pounds. You can do kilograms to pounds, pounds to kilograms. You can do a lot of different conversions really quick on the fly with this that don't really involve math, because they're just conversions, and they have these little tick marks where you can actually line up 1,000 feet, boom, there with something, and calculate how many miles it is, etc. But I'm going to actually take you through a couple calculations, because all of these numerals, all of these numbers, everything on here actually does mean something, and it's actually fairly easy to use. There's some really complex things that you can do with these too. It's really hard to do on a video because you might have to actually keep track of where you're calculating, but some of the simpler stuff I'll show you. The first is actually going to be division. Everything on the slide rule, if you're an engineer, you'll know, is logarithms. So it's logarithmic exponents of 10. So here's 10. Pretty much everything you do revolves around 10 here, and the 10 that's on the slide rule. So you're going to use both of these pretty heavily. The Navitimer that Breitling actually has this in red, I believe, so it's even easier for people to see. But I'll switch over to a pencil so I can show you guys this a little bit easier, so it's not in the way. Alright, so we're going to do some division first. For division, the first thing you want to do is actually take the number that you're going to divide from. So let's switch over, let's do something easy. Let's do 80 divided by 40. So we'll take 80 on the outside of the slide rule, and so the number that's being divided will go here. The number you're dividing by will be your inner number. In that case, it's 40. 80 divided by 40. Then you'll come back to the 10 over here, and as you can see, it is 20. 80 divided by 40 is 20. You can do it with any number. It doesn't have to be even or square, anything like that. If we wanted to do something that's not even, you could do something like 21 divided by 7. So let's do that. It's not a hard equation, but it still works. So 24 divided by, or let's say 21 divided by 3. So 21 here, and then 30 here, and go over to the 10, and on the inside of the 10 here, if I can get it to focus, there you go, the 10's right here, 70, or 7. So again, 21 divided by 3, 7. Or 210 divided by 37, right? So you need to know your decimal places, but this will do the math for you. Another thing that you can do is multiplication. This involves the 10 in a different way because you're working on the inverse of the logarithm. So you're going to take the number you want to multiply and line it up with 10. We'll just use 7 because we used it before. So 7, and let's go times 2. Even though it's easy, or 70 times 2. So we'll slide over to the 20 on the inside. You can see 20, 19, 20 is 14. 7 times 2, or 70 times 20, is 140. So whatever decimal place you want to take that to, it'll do the calculation. I'll do another quick one briefly. So if we want to do, let's say, what's an easy one, but that's not too hard, 45 times 5. So not hard, but at the same time you might not want to do it in your head. So we'll do 45, line it up with the 10, and we're going to go over to 5 on the inside. So figure out the best way to spin this. Way over in here. Let's see. Spin it this way so it'll focus. Times 5 is 5, or 50 is 225. This one's a little bit tougher because you actually have to kind of dig in here to see. But again, 45 lined up with the 10 times 5, which is right here on the inside. You can see it if it'll focus. Is 225, halfway between 22 and 23, so 225. 45 times 5 is 225. The last one I'm going to do is really complex, but easy at the same time. It's the square root. Square root's a little bit different because you're actually going to be looking at matching numbers that would line up to give you the square root of a number. So a fairly complex number that we can use for this, that has a fairly easy square root, but you probably wouldn't be able to do this in your head, is 576. So let's say you want to find the square root of 576. Well, 576 is going to be up here at the very top on the inside. You're going to see, 50 and then 60. 576 is going to be a couple tick marks past here. And I chose this because the slide rule's already kind of outfitted for this. You're going to want to match this number on the outside with whatever you see on the inside aligning with 10. So 10 and 24, you can see that, 10, oop, we're a little past it, 10 and 24, 10 and 24, and it lines up for your square root. And pretty simple.